hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 horror film The Jack in the Box, a film that is written and directed by Lawrence Fowler, and it stars Ethan Taylor and Lucy Jane Quinlan. Now this is a low budget UK based horror film, and it focuses on essentially a Jack in the Box that houses some clown type demon that is discovered by a metal detector out on the fields. He finds it, digs it up, takes it home. His wife is killed. He's blamed for the murder, and then somehow this box ends up in a local museum. And then Casey Reynolds, who is from America, is working over in the UK as a curator at the museum. And he's looking through some old stuff that is going to get thrown out, and he finds this Jack in the Box, finds it very interesting, looks into the history of it, and it goes out on display. Now what he doesn't realise is that there is a demonic spirit in this box, a clown type spirit, that once opened it has to claim 6 victims before it will be locked again back inside this box. And Casey unwittingly opens the box, as you would, it's a Jack in the Box, and then this demonic creature runs riot trying to claim its 6 victims. So what did I think of the Jack in the Box? Well, I actually was quite pleasantly surprised by this horror film. It's got a few things that are really going for it. One of the things that's really goes for it is the effects in this film. The effects for this creature, this demonic clown creature that lives inside this Jack in the Box, I thought was excellent. Really, really well done for a low budget horror film. Very, very effective. And the actor that plays Jack, Robert, let's have a look, Robert Nairn, his performance is actually really quite impressive, because he does like this, his physical performance really enhances the makeup and effects that are on this creature, and he does a really good job. The film is quite a simple story, but it doesn't ever overstretch itself. It doesn't get overly complicated or convoluted with overly complex plot devices. It's a very, very simple device. Once this box is opened, it has to claim 6 victims, and once Casey realises what is going on, he has to try and figure out how to permanently put it back in this box. So it doesn't get overly complicated here. The setting in this English museum, it really enhances the film as well. It makes it feel quite enclosed, and it's quite clever as well when you consider it's a low budget horror film. The only problem I really had with this location was it's a museum, and even though they try to explain it by saying it's the winter season, it doesn't get many visitors. Well, it really doesn't get many visitors at all, none to speak of really. I think I counted 3 visitors for this museum, so it just didn't feel, like it was a museum really. So that didn't really work for it, but it had some really, really good imagery going on in this film, and some clever direction as well. There's a scene where a cleaner's cleaning the display case where this Jack in the Box is housed. The cleaner can't see it, she's cleaning one side of the case, but we can see this Jack in the Box's eyes slowly turning in her direction. Very simple technique, but very, very effective. And the things this film does really, really well are the simple things. It does them well, it doesn't overstretch itself, and it doesn't try to, overreach its budget or anything like that. Another thing that really helps this film is the performances. Everybody does a good job here in regards to the film. There's no below par performances. Everybody does their job and does it well, and it really, really helps and enhances the film. And they even give Casey this interesting backstory as to why he has left the US and come to the UK in regards to a tragic event that happened with his girlfriend. So, which makes his need to help and save people in this film, it means more because of this backstory that they give him, and it really, really helps and enhanced his character. It's not without its problems. It's almost too simple at times in the sense of the story. It gets a little bit repetitive. The box opens, someone's going to get killed. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really get much more complex than that. And it does have a couple of problems as well in regards to this creature. Once it's out of the box and it starts killing people, there's there's never any evidence of any blood or anything like that until right at the end, when it's convenient, because it's used as a plot device to insinuate that somebody else is guilty. So there's never any blood, and there's one scene where it literally cuts someone's throat, and we all know from watching horror films that that wouldn't be a pretty sight in regards to the blood, and then there's no blood. So it was hard to get past that in regards of, you know, these deaths and kills are taking place, but there's no evidence of it and no blood. But I gotta say, I was quite entertained by this film. I thought it was pretty well made for the budget that they had. It had good performances. It took into consideration people's stories and how they were written, the characters, and I liked it. I liked all the interactions. They felt believable, and the creature design was excellent. It never really felt terrifying. I think there was a lot of lack of inexperience in regards to building the real horror tension here, but it's pretty watchable horror flick, this, and I suspect you'll be able to see this on your DVD shelves pretty soon to pick up, and you could do far worse than this. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I was pretty entertained by this one, surprisingly so. There's so many clown related horror films out these days. They're a dime a dozen. Most of them are pretty bad. This is one of the few I've seen that I would probably consider watching again at some point. So that's my review for The Jack in the Box. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, and of course I'll see you back for more reviews on Screen Stars.